started. So fun to see everybody. Hi. I just set up the recording. So we've got, Kevin's going to do a little show and tell a little later. And we've got, if somebody else has some equipment to show and tell, that would be awesome. Do we have some videos today?
I have a couple short videos that I'm willing to share if you folks are willing to put up with them.
Oh, we would love that, Todd. Thank you. That would be great. So we've got Todd. And I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing a piece of paper so I can make some notes. And then I'm working on a video, and I thought I might show just kind of where I'm at with it and what I've got ready so far. I've got like a minute ready, and it's and I also was wanting to ask the question, what do you love about creating videos, and what are the things that are that you don't, that make it hard? Like for me, all this stuff going on in my life right now, having my grandson around, it just seems like there's so many details going on in my life that I'm having a hard time getting time to work on this video. And I've got 3 projects that I'm wanting to do. And after I, actually they've been in process, but then I stopped them so that I can do the most current project. And, and anyway, so I'm interested to hear what what some of you guys have. So let's start with what you love about doing the videos and what motivates you to be doing this.
I can add a few comments. I think last time I mentioned I bought a little SSD drive to put all my presentations on so that historically I can give copies of this to my children after I'm gone. My experiences in life will be well recorded. So that's one of my main emphases. But Bonnie and I occasionally show them to our neighbors or friends, and it reminds us of all the fun things that we did. And that's really important at this age because not everything is sticking up in the head anymore. I enjoy the creative part and learning the software and applying different techniques, but you do it sort of infrequently and it's hard to keep track of exactly how to go about doing things. So I have to refresh my mind every time I get into it again.
Jim, it's in the water. If you drink the water, it makes you forget stuff. So if you live in Green Valley, don't drink the water. It's a proven fact.
I agree with Jim there, saving some of the memories in that for our children and grandchildren and that to view in the distance. 2 summers ago, I spent almost every day at the camera club copying over 8mm films that were my grandparents from the 50s and 60s, and going back and reliving that and seeing that. It reminded me of things that I had forgot. And so I'm trying to put together things like that for my children and everything. But it's fun. It's actually, since starting this with the SIG group here a couple years ago, I really watch movies in a very different way than how I watched them prior to joining the SIG. I mean, I'm paying attention to how things are phasing in or out or phasing. I was watching something on TV the other day and I'm shouting at my wife, "They need a sound guy. They need a sound guy. This audio is horrible," and just a different view of these. And we've been watching some old movies on TMC and just seeing how film and that has progressed over the years from how they, what they had available to them to what we have today. But in commenting on some of the challenges, one of the challenges I find is selecting music for them, selecting music that I can put it on Facebook or put it out there for other people to see it without, paying for it and everything. The other thing is I've been working on a video that I was hoping to show today. I don't have it ready yet because I'm viewing footage. I have over 20 hours of video footage from this one event and going back through that and just sitting here in front of my computer for hours on end, watching it has been difficult. It's been a challenge. I hope to have it ready. I'm trying to narrow this down to like a 3 to 4 minute video. So viewing 20 hours of footage and trying to narrow it down is taking a lot of time.
Yes.
I'd like to comment something about the music. In the past, when we've had meetings at the club and all that, everybody's gotten hyper about this stuff because it will not be legal to have it on the internet. Well, in my presentations, I don't show them any place that I think that's an issue. And I want to pass these things along to my kids and family, and in the process, have them hear the music that I enjoy. So I try to couple the music with the topics to some extent, but it's just stuff that I really like, and I don't care about whether or not it ever gets recognized improperly. That's my feeling about it.
Well, if it's, we have said this over and over again, if it's for friends and family and it's not going to be run publicly, who cares? Run anything you want to. If you're going to show it like right here today and it's copyrighted music, the Zoom meeting is being recorded, you put it on the internet, it's going to get popped and they're going to kill the soundtrack and we're going to have noiseless talking heads for the hour of the SIG meeting. It all depends on where it gets played.
So Brian, you're saying if there's copyrighted music on videos that we show in this meeting here that we're on right now, it'll get muted?
It could very easily get muted. The way around that is if you're going to use copyrighted music in a video that you're going to play here in the SIG, they have to stop the recording, or whoever is going to post the recording on YouTube has to go in and blank that period of music. I think YouTube has got a routine built in that it will put something over it, some okay music, but they're making the selection. You don't have the creative input. They just arbitrarily do it.
But as we are projecting right now today between you and I and the others, I can't see how they could intervene at that stage. If this
They
was,
can't.
they
They
can't.
can't. It's when Sherry posts this recorded meeting on YouTube, then they'll blank it if there's copyrighted music and they notice. When we put the 3 hours of the film festival onto YouTube, they killed a whole hour because there were 2 sections of copyrighted music. So I had to go back and blank the copyrighted music portions of those recorded hours, and then it plays okay.
And by blank, you're just saying that you just go dead for volume, for audio.
Yep. I mean, it's sorry about that because it was nice music and it worked, but it was copyrighted.
Good to know.
And music becomes such an important part of our videos. I think it certainly is for me, and I can spend hours looking for an appropriate piece, for a 3-minute video. So that's disappointing that they get taken like that. But I guess the option is we do have other options to use the other music out there that we can on the other websites, and it just takes a long time to find the pieces.
Yep.
One of my projects that I have is to build a music library. Somebody, was that Brian? Was that you who mentioned that?
Yeah, I think I'm up around 34 gigabytes of
Yeah.
music. Most of it
Yeah, so that's-
copyrighted,
yeah.
but that's for me. But I've still got probably 10 or 15 gigabytes of royalty-free, okay to use music. When I find it, I download it.
Yeah,
And
that's
keep-
awesome. But yeah, I know I did my one on my grandson, and I was using the Beatles song, the Here Comes the Sun. And so, and right away on the, when I put it onto my YouTube site, they blocked it immediately. I mean, I was like hardly even, uploaded before. It was like, no, so I just have it on my computer, and then I send my kids the link that's on my computer and they send it as a Google Drive. You know, so I mean, that still works when it's just, you know, because my purpose was that was for my family. You know, it's just so easy to share a link. If I store it on YouTube and I just store them there, it's so easy to send a link for people to be able to see whoever I want to send it to, because I don't do the public view thing at this point. But yeah.
When you stored it there, did they take the music off of what you have stored? Can you still play it with the music on it or not?
No, I can't. Not on YouTube. Now, on my own computer, I can. But on YouTube, I ended up just taking it off because they just, you know, they flagged it. They wouldn't even let me share the link. I mean, it was.
Yeah, Google Drive or Microsoft Dropbox doesn't do anything with it. That's just a hard drive.
Yeah.
Brian, on YouTube, do they allow a short, like a minute and a half or something of regular music, or no?
I think it depends on how it's being used. If you just put it on your video, no, they'll kill it. If you're doing something where you can hide under the fair use umbrella, you can sometimes get away with it.
So how do you do that? And what does that allow?
Fair use is when you're using a audio or video clips to teach or illustrate a point in some form or fashion. And fair use is horribly abused all the time. So they're kind of picky about what they let through. But
That's time limited? That's time limited, like a few seconds or so?
Yeah, I think it is, but I couldn't tell you what the number is. But our videos, well, we can't claim fair use for this unless it's in the course of a class like you're doing. You can play clips in your class so long as the clip is not the point of the class. Go look up fair use. It's lawyer language.
All right, we're going to take a minute and let's watch one of Todd's videos that he has for us, and then we can carry on with this and see what.
Should we mute and stop video kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it helps, but I don't know if it really does. But
Todd, make sure you check those boxes.
yeah, and Todd, you need to unmute.
Yes, there we go. Okay. Let me try to bring this up. Okay. Okay, this first one, I think I'm doing this right. This was to encourage my granddaughter.
Okay, you have to actually start the video before you share, because we're just seeing your desktop.
So you're not seeing this?
No, we just see your desktop.
Okay, so you're saying I have to start the video first.
So stop sharing, start the video, pause it, and then go to share.
Okay, so stop share, start the video. Sorry, folks.
Or just open it, Todd. You don't have to start it per se. Just have the file open on the desktop.
All right. I'm being challenged here. You can't see it, right?
That's correct. We just see you.
No, that's not what I want. So I've lost my Zoom page. Let me see. Well, you can hear the music.
Yep.
Just look for it in the app on dock.
So you say I have to go to share screen after.
Yeah, after you've opened the video, then go to share screen and click the 2 check boxes at the bottom and say start share.
All right, you're sharing, so start your, there.
Do you see it
There
now?
you go. You got it.
Yes.
I'm not hearing the music.
You don't hear the music?
Does anyone else hear it?
It's barely on. I think you didn't share the audio when you did the share screen.
Will you stop it, Todd, and start, try it again?
Yeah, sorry, folks.
Oh, no, this is our, how we learn.
Okay, so I've got exit sharing. Okay. So exit sharing. So you said there was an audio to it?
When it,
Yes,
at the bottom of that screen, it says share audio and also enhance quality of picture or whatever it says. There's 2 check boxes at the bottom.
Yeah, we could hear the music, but just barely.
Okay. So when I click on the file, then it just takes up my whole screen. I don't have anything from Zoom on my screen.
Are you on a Mac?
No, I'm on a PC.
Do you have any way to go from application to application when you are on a screen?
So I have the file where the video is, and when I click on that, then it just takes over my whole screen. And then there's all the bars from Zoom away.
if you move your arrow up to the top or up to the bottom, does anything show up? When I move my arrow to the bottom, then things show up, another thing comes up and shows up. Does anything do that for you?
I'm trying to see. Well,
Todd, in order to, on the Mac, if you wanted to see the applications that were active, you'd hit Command Tab. So I don't know what the Command key is on the Windows thing, but it's right next to the space bar to the left.
Probably the Alt key.
Okay, so if you do if you do Alt Tab at the same time, you will see all the things it should bring up Zoom.
Okay, yes, that did. Okay, so let me look up the file.
That's good to know that it's the same on both formats.
Well, I'm sorry, folks. I'm just not getting this to work. I'm gonna have to play with this some more to figure this out. Got the Zoom meeting. I've got it there. Let me-
Have you got your movie queued, ready to go?
I have it in the file.
But it has to be open.
All you have to do is just push on the play button and it will go. You want to bring it to that state before you do the share button.
Okay. So I have it here. I see the video.
Do the share and hit both the video and the sound.
So we're not seeing it. Did you click on the share
I
screen?
can't. Second. Where my challenge is here is for some reason, as soon as I click on it, I lose all the Zoom bar on the bottom. So where it says share, that whole bar goes away as soon as I click on the video.
Is it possible that you can open the video and not have it go to full screen?
Well, it's probably possible. If I could do it's another question. So I mean, I think Grace, you told me I needed to get it into this one of these blocks here. But I haven't. It says share sound.
Yeah, if the video's open, it should show up in that white window that opened.
Yeah.
And it should probably be the second one down on the left-hand side, where you will see a little icon that shows you a thumbnail of the video. And that's the position where it's ready to show.
I have my file folder there with the video on it, but not that particular video.
Okay, that's not what should be there.
I think at this point, Todd, if it's okay, we'll move
Yeah.
on. And
Please
gonna
do. Sorry, everyone.
That's okay. I'm gonna, Kevin had done up a step-by-step on sharing videos a few weeks ago, and I'll send the link out again for that.
Thank
and
you.
Then, that might be helpful too, just to be able to see that. It's a great tutorial for all
All
of
right.
us. Does that sound okay?
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
We're
All of
definitely, we're looking forward to seeing your video.
All of
Can
the
I ask a quick-
tutorials are on the SIG website.
Oh, that's true, yeah. And I'm including that link now on our on the email.
Can I ask a quick question, please?
Yes, please.
I've spent the last year teaching over Zoom with Ollie. And we had, in our share, we were always told to click the share sound button, but not the optimize video button. Apparently, yeah, and I don't know why. They said that sometimes optimizing the video ended up not working well. And you're saying to use it. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong.
Use
I've
it.
heard that also.
Okay.
Well, it certainly seems to improve the video here in our SIG when people check that box.
Is it a function of device or a function of, I imagine the people in the camera club have much more powerful devices on average than the people that are taking classes with Ollie. I don't know if that's it or if there's something else happening. Interesting.
I've always shared any videos, Bob, with optimizing, and it seems like that's worked out well for people.
Yeah, I've never noticed a difference. We were just told not to, when we were teaching, told not to do it. Don't know.
There you go.
I'm really sympathetic to people that are having, because I've spent a whole year with this stuff, and Zoom is wonderful for just general conversation, but when you're trying to present something, it really lacks. And from the point of view of the presenter, you don't get to see what everybody else sees.
I feel your pain.
I think I'm going to try and show the, because I'm also on a PC. So I'm just going to see how I get to showing, you know, what I'm working on. I have 1 minute of it done. I'm using Premiere Elements 2020. So let's see if I'm able to do this. Okay, so I'm clicking on the share screen. And it's showing me at the bottom. As soon as I open the share screen, it shows share sound, a little button at the bottom of it that I'm clicking. It says to optimize for video clips. So I'm clipping that. And now I'm clicking share. And now you can see my screen. And now can you see I've opened up Premiere Elements?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm working on. And you can see my, whatever this area is called, all this work stuff, and my
Timeline.
timeline, thank you. So there's my timeline, and where I am at, this stuff isn't all edited yet. That's over here. That's just placed where I want it. But the first part of our trip is 1 minute. So I get to play and see what it looks like and then see what I want to do. We were so excited to take our first trip following our COVID vaccines. Our airport experiences included TSA, Southwest, layover, Pokemon, and arriving in Hartford, Connecticut. Picking up a rental car, driving to Fred's childhood friend George's beautiful welcome greeting. The tour of George's town, Lenox, was filled with wonderful reminiscing and a visit to the incredible Norman Rockwell Museum.
He employed models, costumes, and props.
This was followed by lunch at George's favorite tavern and dinner at Mazzeo's. Good food and great company. I'll stop there because I haven't really edited this next section much. I've just been placing it. So let's see, I'm going to minimize this. I think. I'm just going to stop share. So
That was very nice. I think you got a great start going there. The one thing I was thinking of, Sherry, just in terms of, and this is a minor thing, be looking at your volumes between your music and your narration.
yeah.
And tweak that a little bit. You had some stuff there where you were inside the Rockwell Museum and the guy is talking, but you've kept that volume the same for the music. And so it's good that you put those subtitles up, because otherwise I think it'd be hard to hear.
Yeah,
But-
I did put the museum music, I mean that talking thing, I got it as loud as it would go. And I had reduced the volume between my talking and that, but I can reduce that more. I had it down quite a bit more, and then you couldn't hear the music at all.
Sure.
So I just need to tweak, yeah.
Just
to
a little
pull
bit.
that
I think
down
the other thing maybe too is that after that segment, you had a period where you stopped talking and the narration stopped. The music went way high, I thought, and so
Okay.
maybe don't make that as big of a jump. It's a little too
Okay.
too much. But
Awesome.
other than that, I
Okay.
like where you're going with this. I think it's a nice start.
Thank
Have
you.
you experimented at all with the Bezier curves on your audio keyframes?
No, I don't know how to do that. Maybe when I work on it again, I'll call you and see if you're available to teach me that. Is that possible?
Well, I don't know if Premiere Elements has that capability. It would surprise me if it doesn't.
Okay.
And it's very simple. Once you, oh, that's what that is, then you can play with them. And instead of being a abrupt change in
Yeah.
volume, what it does is it makes it into a smooth curve. And
What's
you
it
can-
called?
Bezier, Bezier.
Okay. I'll look and see if I can find that in my program and play with that.
If you can't take that sound bar and clip it and fade the music in and out over a shorter or longer period of time.
Okay.
Fading generally is for the beginning or end of a sound clip. I'm not sure that it's going to work in the middle of a sound clip.
I don't think it would work unless you cut it there and then try to fade it. So I don't know, but I'm going to look because I have the same software. So I'll look to see if Bezier curve is on there. I thought one of the other things though is in your narration, it sounded a little echoey to me.
Yeah, my mic is here and I do it from here. I don't really have a setup to go in the closet. I've seen some of the fun things that you guys have done. But yeah, I was just doing it sitting right here. All right, so I see Brian's got foam, okay?
Yes, some egg crate foam, and you put it behind your mic, and
Okay.
that'll help absorb.
Okay,
And it's only a couple of bucks. I mean, we got it through Amazon.
I love Amazon.
One of the other things that I have done, not with total success, is I just take a big sheet and double it up and throw it over the top of me and over the top of my computer and have the mic sitting here in front of me. At least it contains the sound within that space.
Okay, awesome. Those are some great things. I'll try that. Thank you. Now, let's see. Kevin, do we want to move on to you at this point?
We can if you'd like.
Well, I would love to. Does anyone else have a video that they wanted to share today? Okay, Kevin,
right.
you're on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to share a quick video that I put together yesterday, and then a slideshow, one of my slideshows. And then afterwards, I have a quick little show and tell of showing the camera that I used for the tombstone video that I showed a couple of weeks ago. We had some people asking about that. So long story short, there was supposed to be there was a car show that was over at the Black Hawk Barbecue over in Corona de Tucson on Saturday night. Unfortunately, they only had about 5 cars. And so my motivation was not on photography at that point, unfortunately. And so just drank some beers and I said, okay, that's not going to work. So anyway, what I did yesterday was I took one of the car shows that I had shot back in Illinois. This is a few years ago, and just put together a quick slideshow to kind of get that creative thing going. That was one of the things that Sherry was just talking about is for me, it's always the thing of creating something. It's working on the photography, the pictures in Photoshop, making them look good, and then putting them together in a slideshow. So anyway, this is a quick little 2-minute slideshow from a car show in Illinois. Okay, there you go.
I like the concept of seeing the names and emblems up close, you know. I would have liked to see the whole car after each one.
Yeah, thank you.
What lens were you using to make those shots? Because the depth of field is very narrow.
Sure. Well, first to answer the lens question, I probably am using a 16-35 zoom lens. And basically I shoot wide open. So that means in the case of that lens, 2.8 is the widest open that lens can be. So that's part of it. And you know, you're able to get that. And I've talked about this before, and if you've seen my flower stuff, when I've done a botanical gardens or something like that, That's just my style, and I love shooting that way. I love the effect that that gives. Now, to answer Holly's question, I always like shooting, this, and again, this is just my style. People go to car shows and they're shooting the whole car, and their people are in the background, and usually there's people wearing clothes that aren't exactly, looking real good, let's say. And I don't like it incorporating the people in the shot. So to me, it's rare for me to shoot an overall car shot just because I'm not going to like the background or whatever's going on. So in a sense, this is my style. And at some point, I know when we'll have some car shows coming up here in Tucson area, that I'll go back and shoot. And I'll just shoot the same style, Holly. So that's just my style. There's other people, you'll see their car stuff and they're showing the whole cars and there's people around and stuff. It just doesn't work for me. So in a nutshell, that's the way I shoot. Good, bad, otherwise.
You sparked my interest though, in what did these cars look like?
Well, see, we need to get you out to a car show.
Yeah, right.
That's the
If
beauty.
you've got some idea of what the cars look like, then this was nice from the perspective of Z28. Okay, yeah. And was one of them a Firebird? That had to be with that.
Yeah, the big, I think that's the, like
On it.
80s big Trans Am Firebird that was on the hood of the
Yeah.
car. Yep.
Smokey and the Bandit stuff.
Yes, exactly. The Burt Reynolds Smokey and the Bandit one. So, yeah, I guess for some of us that are kind of car nuts, you'll see these logos and the emblems. Oh yeah, that's a 442, or that's, this or that. So maybe if you're not a car nut, you don't.
Yeah, it was a trip down memory lane for me.
Good.
I loved it.
Well, good. Well, let's face it. That's when cars were cars. I don't know now if we see too much of that. So
I don't know. My 1-ton
just got
diesel
back.
will blow a lot of people away.
I just got back to New York and suspended the collision on my Lincoln Town Car. And it's a 2005. And coming home, I saw all these new Lincolns that just make me want to cry. They don't look anything like a Lincoln Town Car anymore.
sure.
Yeah, have you seen a Jaguar lately? They don't look like a Jaguar anymore.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
I have a friend who has an all-electric Jaguar.
Oh, that's just sad.
I haven't seen it. We were at their place the other night, but we didn't go down to look at it.
Huh.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that's just kind of a fun little, put it together, that video. It took me a few hours to do the Photoshop work, and then just the transitions, adding the movement to the photos. And,
What do you use for music?
well, I use that. I've got that service, that audioblocks.com
Okay.
or storyblocks.com, whatever. They go under both names. Anyway, and then I'm always looking for something that's a little different when it comes to my music. So I don't want something to be cliche. And the one thing that's interesting is originally I started looking at classical music, and I just couldn't find anything that just kind of grabbed me the way that I was looking. And then at some point I was kind of in the electronic genre, and I really wasn't finding anything there that grabbed me. And then finally, somehow I came across this as kind of a corporate piece. So anyway, it's as people have talked about, music can be hard to figure out sometimes, but sometimes it grabs you right away. You just come across something and go, boom, that's the song, and away I go. So
Send me the website for that music service, and I'll add it to the list on the SIG website.
you bet. I'll send a note out to you, Brian. No problem.
What was the name of your music source again?
It's called audioblocks.com
Audio,
Blocks, BLOCKS.
okay. Okay,
Now they've got a service. This is part of their service, but of course it costs more money.
yeah,
The main company is called storyblocks.com. So they have a video section with video B-roll. They've got the audio, which is the audio blocks. And then they've got another section called, or I'm not sure what the name is, but it's all graphics. So stock photography, graphics, stuff like that.
and how much time did you spend finding your music approximately?
You know, on this one, I would say I probably spent about 20 minutes, which is a lot more than I would normally spend. Normally, I usually can find something within about 4 or 5 minutes.
Wow, okay.
What
So,
do they let you search the music by?
I'm sorry, Holly, what's that?
How can you search the music? Like, is it by genre or,
Yeah, if you want, I
Yeah.
can show you real quick. Let me pull it up
Okay.
on the website. Hang on.
Sure.
The
Yeah,
other
I've got
goodie
it.
that, oh,
I've
I'm
got
sorry.
it
go
on
ahead.
my screen, so you don't need to send me the link anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. The other goodie I was going to show people too, just as a quick goodie, I downloaded this new software. I've talked about this before. I've heard it's really good. It's an alternative to Photoshop. It's called Affinity. They have affinity.com as the site. It's basically a Photoshop type program. Here's the best part, folks. It's only $25. It's on sale right now. It's normally $50. I used it yesterday on the photos that I was doing of this thing. And it's taken me a little bit to figure out just because I'm used to Photoshop. So it's like, okay, where is this same thing? But I am amazed at what this program can do. The raw images, if you're shooting raw images with your camera, there's no problem. It's really nice. And then the best part is you can download a free trial sample and try it for 90 days. So if anybody's looking for a Photoshop program, this is really, really nice. And you can download it for the PC or the Mac or even the iPad. So anyway,
Kevin, Affinity used to come on the Mac? Because this is
No.
like the more recent.
this is
No.
not a Mac, product, Apple product. This comes out of somewhere in Europe, but I was really, really impressed with it. I've heard good things and it was really nice. So let me open up Storyblocks real quick.
I think you may be able to get it through the Apple App Store, however.
That very well could be, Grace.
And
I haven't-
I just bought it.
Okay, so here's Storyblocks. If I go, you can do the video, you can do the audio. So if I log in real quick, sure, it won't let me do it. I'm not going to do it this way. Anyway, I go into browse music and I can pick genres of music. So I can say, okay, let's try corporate music. It comes up with, it should here in a second, and you basically can then listen. And you can just, start checking out music. The other goodie is you could put in, as an example, a duration time and say, okay, don't show me anything like in the case of this car thing, it was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Well, don't show me anything less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So now it's going to show me music that's over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's your time over here. And basically, you just kind of start going through. You can do all kinds of sorting, most downloaded, most recent stuff that's not been used or downloaded much. So, depending on what you want to look for in your music, it works really nice. And then if you said, the corporate isn't working, let's go to blues music. Now it's going to show me blues music over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So all in all, it's a really nice service. It is $150 a year. I probably wouldn't have it if I didn't use it for work. But boy, I really like it. I know Brian's used it before. And, or I thought you had used it. Anyway, it's a great little service. So that's that.
Do any of you know of services where you pay per piece that you want to use?
You can, Holly, you can on Storyblocks, you can download and pay for one song.
Yeah.
I want to say it's maybe $10 a pop,
Uh-huh.
something like that. I mean, there are services out there that you can do that. If you, like Brian's said, he's built up a library. I'm the same way. I'll sit there as I'm going through music. I may download something that I don't think is appropriate for the piece I'm working on, but I'm just building that library. And at some point when I decide to cash it in and not have the service anymore, I'm going to have this great library that's got all this different kinds of music. I'll never have to buy it again. So
yeah,
anytime, I think, like Brian had said, anytime he's finding some stuff, download it, put it in a folder. If you're, whatever, YouTube or whatever it is, you're finding royalty-free music, download it, save it, have it.
Because sure
And
enough,
then
if
you
it's something that really
have to worry
catches
about
your
buying it.
ear, you'll find a use for it.
Oh yeah. That's for sure.
Do you put
Well,
them
quickly.
in,
Yeah,
in the
I'm sorry, go ahead.
in the library that you're building, on your music? Do you have subfolders for the genres, or does the music say what it is where you can group it in genre?
No, I have not gone to the time yet of doing the subfolders. At some point I will. I just have it in one nice big massive folder, because as long as I have the service, I necessarily don't have to sit there and say to myself, okay, I want to go in and look through my own stuff. I might as well look through and see what's out that's in the new stuff. And then I may find other things, like Brian said, that I can use for other pieces. So anyway, at some point that will be a project down the road, and I'll go through and listen and have, 10, 15 categories and say, okay, boom, all this music is going to get sorted out and away we go.
Somewhere along the track with each one should be a category where you could actually, if it doesn't already say the genre, you could add it.
You could in the name if you
That's what I
wanted to
mean.
go that route. Honestly, let's say like on this last car thing that I did, I probably downloaded 10 or 15 songs, Grace. Well, I don't have time to sit there and each thing and say, okay, boom, this is this or this is
Right.
that.
Right.
Down the road, though, I could definitely see doing that. And subfolders would be great.
I've got mine in folders by artist, and I know kind of what each artist, what his style is like. So I can do a little weeding out as I'm going through by, I look at this guy and say, no, I know his won't fit, and just go on. You just need to be familiar with the material you're saving.
And I have in iTunes an album that says free music, and that's where I drop everything that I've downloaded.
That's a good thing.
Awesome. So in the last few minutes that we have, Kevin, do you want to share that you had
I
a
can.
show and tell thing?
All right. This is the little camera that I used for the Tombstone video that you saw a couple weeks ago. It's a Canon 405. It's a great little camera. It's got the microphone is up top here. You can also put in an external microphone, and I can mount that to the camera, which I did for this other shoot, but for storage, I do not keep that mount on. It does also have a viewer. You could like a 35 millimeter, you can look through the eyepiece. I never have, because I do use it does have the fold out screen, and I'll flip this thing on here. Hang on a second here and you'll see. Here we go. Oh, there we go. So anyway, it's got the viewer. I can go through menus and change all kinds of parameters from the shutter speed that I'm shooting. I can turn up the gain inside or outside, whatever I need to do. It also has neutral density filters in the built into the camera. So if I'm outside, I can add more neutral density to get the exposure more correct, depending on the look I'm after.
It's a
The
nice
other,
touch.
yeah, this is a nice little camcorder, and it's great for stuff like this, just because it is so small and you have so many options. The other goodie that I have, because I think Grace had asked about this, when you're outside, it's hard to see that screen. So I've got a little cover. I'll show you the cover, and then I'll pop this bad boy on. Hoodman is the name of the company, and it's basically just a little Velcro screen. So what I do is I'm going to attach it. I'm going to do it down here since I need two hands. Hang on a second. And this is great for shooting outside. So now you see I've got that nice little hood on, so it keeps the screen dark so I can see exactly what's going on. So when I can also sit there, one of the things that we talked about during the tombstone thing was I was running with the kids as they were running, or with the donkeys or whatever. Well, I can adjust this screen and tip that up. So as I'm running along with them, I'm holding it down at my side and I'm looking down into the viewfinder so I can kind of keep an eye on what's going on. So anyway,
What's that name again, Kevin?
It's a Canon 405. Let me get I think it's XF. It's an XF 405. It shoots 4K. It also does slow motion. That's what I did for the tombstone video. A lot of the video was shot in slow motion. These are just really nice. You can also put on filters. So I can put on, I took the lens hood off. I've got a polarizer on here, or you could use a UV. It also has a manual mode up top here, or you can shoot it in automatic mode. So if you don't want to mess around with exposure or f-stop or anything else, you can go to the automatic mode. So really, it's kind of a nice little camera that, you know, for somebody like me, if I want to do something a little bit more run and gun, I can use this thing instead of using one of the bigger cameras. I don't have to put it on a tripod. It just makes things really nice.
Stabilizer also?
It's got a built-in stabilizer, and that does a pretty good job. It also has face detection for focus. So you can set it to that, and it'll automatically focus on subjects' faces. So it's amazing the amount of technology that's built into this thing. So anyway, that's my little toy.
Thanks for sharing.
You bet.
Very fun. Our time is pretty much up. Well, at least for me. And so I'm looking forward to keeping this going, getting to see Todd's stuff next week, and pursuing some more of the conversation on the things that we really enjoy and the things that we want to overcome to make it easier for us, and anything else that you guys want to pursue. But we definitely want to keep getting our videos going.
Thanks, Sherry. It's
Thank
always
you.
fun. It's so nice to be able to see everybody, even though I'm back in New York now.
Yes, it is. I appreciate Zoom for that so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
See everybody next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.